Hello, 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 and welcome back to the 12. This is a show about the Women's Super League, aka the highest division of women's football in England. We're here to discuss all things WSL, both on and off the field. Each week, we'll be breaking down games, showcasing stars, and highlighting important stories surrounding the game. My name is Deepti. I'm here with my co hosts, Mark, Thom, and Treb. And this week, the WSL is back, baby. It is a new season. We're ready for season 2 of our podcast, and we're ready. Yeah, we'll just get right into it because there's so much to talk about. The season starts this weekend. The September 5th and 6th and 7th is the weekend that the matches will be happening, and we still have transfer stuff going on, even though we're like less than 24 hours out of the first match.
The window is, I think it just closed today as of the time of this
Yes.
recording. So thank God
ago.
for that.
Yeah,
I think there's an hour left, maybe.
13 minutes ago it closed.
Yes, it closed
It just closed.
13 minutes ago.
As of right now, recording this, it officially closed 13 minutes ago. It's done. It's over. No
God.
more.
Oh,
Thank God.
Let's see. Maybe if someone breaks news during the recording, we can be the first to say it. But we did have a big one that broke today, and I don't know which of you want to start it. But I'll just. There's a lot to say. I feel like there's a lot that we obviously don't know about yet. But I'm talking about Alyssa Thompson of Angel City Football Club is going to be moving to Chelsea, which is huge because I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere, and it's not something that was like there were rumors of until very recently, and I don't know. I honestly didn't know what to think of it, and even when the rumors happened, I didn't think it would happen. Like the actual deal would come through so soon. I thought, okay, maybe wait till January transfer window or something. But no, apparently she's already in London. There was like a photo of her at LAX on her like getting ready to come over here. So it's happening. Alyssa Thompson to Chelsea. Let's
okay.
start with Mark. Okay,
Oh,
Thom, you
yeah,
go ahead. No, I was
I'm
gonna say
just
Chelsea fan. We can start,
right.
but
I'm gonna just say this because I don't have nearly as much as vested interest as Treb and Mark obviously do. But if Alyssa Thompson is in the 18 against City
She will be.
tomorrow, I'm going to fly to LA and slap my Mark Parsons myself. That is all that I have to say about Alyssa Thompson moving over to the WSL.
that would be a very valid reaction. And and it's not crazy to think about because she is in mid-season form. Like it's not like I mean, obviously it's a brand new club, brand new system, but she's ready. And like, so I wouldn't even be surprised if she gets maybe not starting 11, obviously, but like on the bench, ready to get some minutes for sure. Um, okay, yeah. So you guys all know Mark is our resident Chelsea fan. Treb is of course the Angel City guru, Angel City fan, and so we will have both sides of it: the club that she's leaving, the club that she's going to. So let's start with Mark. We'll start with the Chelsea fan side. What were your
Yeah.
thoughts?
So the last time we recorded, which was about, I guess, a couple weeks ago, something like that, we kind of talked about like how unusually quiet this transfer window has been for Chelsea, right? Like it was just weird, and like part of me, like we know that they were at least interested in signing Olivia Smith, right? So we know that that's a position that they were at least looking at earlier in the summer. So like part of me just felt like, okay, maybe they are working on things. I just can't believe that Ellie Carpenter is going to be the biggest signing of this window, right? Like that's not a very Chelsea thing to do. But there was nothing going on. And you look at the squad, right? The composition of the squad. Like I look at a player like Aggie Beaver Jones, for example, who, progressively got better last season, ended last season on a high, scored a hat trick in the preseason. You're thinking, okay, was the plan to obviously they brought back Canada Red as well on a 2-year deal. So it's like, is the plan to kind of just, uh, kind of, what I'm trying to like hold serve, and allow like certain players within the squad to develop and take it to another level. So I those were kind of like the thoughts I was like maybe having about our window, and then these Alyssa Thompson rumors just kind of this started like what, a week ago maybe. Uh,
Mhm.
and just kind of out of nowhere, and I thought that it wasn't a player that I necessarily saw them targeting. I'll put it that way, and I guess in terms, one of the ways I could see it, we talk a lot on this pod. We talk a lot about these WSL clubs kind of mirroring what their EPL counterparts do, right? Like it's largely the same front office for most of these clubs. They're gonna like go about scouting and signing the same way. Chelsea, with this ownership group, obviously love targeting like young players, especially U21s, particularly U21 players who've had played a lot of senior minutes, gotten caps for the national team and that sort of thing. So Alyssa Thompson does fit that bill, but I don't know. I'm going to throw it to Trev here, but I'm kind of curious, like, what exactly is Alyssa Thompson's ceiling? Like in your estimation at this point, like, is she somebody that could displace one of the triple espresso, for example? Like that good?
I mean, she's considered the fourth espresso right now, right? Like a lot of people consider her right behind, if not parallel to the likes of like Mal, right? Mal Swanson, who,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, because right now you have all three triple espresso pretty much, well, with the exception of Trinity Rodman, who just returned, two of them are out, right? You have Sophia, who just had her baby. Congratulations to her. You have Mal, who I think is still pregnant, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. And then Trinity, with the back injuries, is returning to form and getting going with Washington Spirit. And so Alyssa was like that kind of like 3B, that next one up. And I mean, she's only 20 years old, right? Like you talk about young players. I think usually we see Chelsea sign and stash. I don't think that'll be the case this time, especially with Myra being hurt, as we've heard in the last couple of days. They do have Sam Kerr returning, but I think that there's a chance that Alyssa could very much replace what is it, JRK, who's on that wing right now.
Mhm.
So I think she could. I think the biggest question for Chelsea fans is going to be what is what's Sonia's ceiling, honestly, because I mean,
Fair.
you have to take that into consideration because right now, in my opinion, Alyssa's going from one of the best developers of young talent and talent, period, in the women's game, in Alex Strauss, to, in my opinion, and again, this isn't the Arsenal fan in me, but like to my opinion, one of the worst player development coaches in Sonia Van Pastor. Like I mean, Chelsea has not taken a step forward as a unit or even players individually. Like they haven't really impressed since she's arrived at that club. And so I think that the real question is going to be just what can she get out of Alyssa? And will Alyssa's development take a step forward or will it stall? Will it regress? Because I think in terms of ceiling, Alyssa is the future of the U.S. women's national team. Like there's no mistaking that. That's not hyperbole to say. That's not like a hot take. Like everyone agrees this is the future of the U.S. women's national team. And so that's what her ceiling is, to be one of the best on the planet at her position. Whether she'll be that for Chelsea, again, I think that a big part of that is going to be what kind of coach Sonia is and how she adjusts to the WSL and that playing style. Um, but yeah, it's like Mark said, it came out of left field, and it's a really heartbreaking day in Los Angeles for a lot of fans. Like
Mhm.
they are not happy at all at this move.
Yeah,
They're not
can
happy
we
at
get
Chelsea either.
can we get your opinion as just like a pure Angel City fan? What were your thoughts, I guess, when you first heard the rumor and then when it came to fruition so quickly? Because I know when we first heard the rumors, people were kind of brushing it off like, oh, it's just a rumor. Everyone goes and asks for players that
Yeah.
they don't think that they could
Oh
get,
yeah.
right?
When the rumors first broke, it was reported as Chelsea approached Angel City for Alyssa Thompson, and I think a lot of us laughed it off because it's like, okay, you know, you can approach anybody, right?
Yeah,
Like
like
a
everyone and their
lot of
mother
players,
approached
a
Naomi.
lot
Like,
of
yeah.
teams have approached Trinity Rodman. A lot of teams have approached, Sophia Wilson. Like you can approach anyone. It doesn't mean anything. I think the thing that is the most surprising is just when you consider Alyssa's position here in Los Angeles. She just signed a 4-year contract this past January. She is only 20 years old. Like I said, she was a big reason why Alex Strauss decided to take this job here in Angel City. He raved about her from the moment he got here, talked about how intricate and how important she was to his future plans and building around her. She was a homegrown talent from this area and a player that that club was getting ready to build a future around. And so in a week's time, it went from Chelsea's approaching her to Chelsea assigned her. And that kind of whiplash whirlwind has a lot of people here stunned because it's like, what happened, right? I think when you talk about women's soccer and especially the NWSL, there's a big sentiment that they want players to be able to decide what they want to do with their careers. If you want to leave, you can leave. You deserve that autonomy. You deserve to have that freedom. Like it's part of the CBA now where players have to sign off on any trades or transfers or anything of that nature. But I think a lot of fans are feeling like, what happened to where, like, did she really want to leave that bad that over the course of a week she's basically, I don't want to say thrown away, but she's basically just given up on what was to be a bright future here in Los Angeles. Like she's in a lot of commercials, she's in a lot of the marketing. She is a, Kristen Press might be, the legend of
Oh
the
my God,
franchise.
what is Nick's gonna do with that commercial?
Yeah, but like, listen, Alyssa was the face of the franchise this season. Like she was stepping into that role. And so you're looking at a Los Angeles club that is now having to scramble to figure out what they're going to do. And you're looking at a lot of fans who, like I said, fans are not happy. I think it's mixed, right? Like there's fans who understand if this is what Alyssa wanted, you want your players to be happy. It is what it is. But I think the thing that really hurts is that a lot of fans feel like if this move was going to happen and happen now, she at least should have stayed through the rest of the season. Because right now, Angel City are only a point off of the playoff. They have had a rocky season, but with Alex Strauss coming in, they've gone 4 unbeaten. They've won 2 in a row. They are pushing for that final playoff spot. There's only 5-6 matches left in the regular season on top of playoffs. Like she could have easily put that move on hold, stayed for the rest of the season, then left in the winter. And I don't think Chelsea would have missed a beat in terms of like needing her immediately. But I think that's where a lot of the anger and confusion comes in at is like, why now? Why immediately? And why, for what we're hearing, is well below her market value? Because even if the most generous, you know, um, assumption is right that this is a move for £2 million or $2 million, that's still not enough. Like she's a player worth a lot more than that when you consider Angel City paid close to $600,000 to make the moves to get the draft pick that picked her, and then of course, like I said, investing in her with that 4-year deal that she just signed. And so, yeah, I think for Los Angeles fans, it's a really hurtful day right now. Like it's just stunned. Like we said, it came out of nowhere, and in a week's time, it went from approaching the player to signing the player, and now she's gone.
Okay, Mark, I want to ask you this. Like, like, I'm trying to figure out what Chelsea's attack is going to look like. Like, is Sonia still going to be foolish enough to put Sandy Baltimore, who balled out last year and this summer in the Euros, at outside back so that she can? I'm very confused. Like, what do you envision it looking like?
Well, yeah, it is confusing, and like to add to that confusion, we saw Chelsea line up at 3 at the back at the FA Cup final, right? And Sonia has talked about that before, and so I think there's a possibility that we see 3 at the back, which then I would actually bet on Baltimore being like a wing back, um, which okay, like it depends on how it looks, right? But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't see her starting like Alyssa. I don't see her starting tomorrow. I think it might take a couple games for her to like actually break into the starting lineup. Um, So, if you had like a three up top, in terms of healthy players, right? Because there's no Lauren, there's no Myra, and
Michael.
and then with Sam, like they probably want to take their time with her. So I bet she wouldn't start for a couple weeks at least. So then that pretty much leaves Kat, Beaver Jones, Kennerid, Baltimore if you play her as a forward. Um, so yeah, I I think Cat, Beaver Jones, and Kennerid is what I would bet on at least for the next couple weeks.
Right. Well, I feel like there's so much more that we can say about this because we all have thoughts, whether or not you're a Angel City fan, a Chelsea fan, or just a fan of Alyssa Thompson, which we all are. I think lots of thoughts, but we can't really. It's all speculation. Like we don't know what the behind the scenes are, and whatever. But I do also want to say, like, there should definitely not be any sort of like online abuse or hatred thrown towards Alyssa Thompson. She is a 20-year-old player. 20-year-olds can make decisions very quickly, change their minds day over day. But also, like, it's her life, it's her player. Like, if she was just offered a boatload of money, she's gonna take it. Like the NWSL, we talked about this. They have a salary cap that puts them at a disadvantage compared to these other teams where they can pay 3-4 times the salary. And you know what? If like I was a 20-year-old being offered 3 times my salary, I would take it too. And so, yeah,
I'm a
there's like
40-year-old, and if somebody
at any
answer it took
point,
me
yeah,
3 times my salary, I'm taking that.
exactly.
And
Like
we'll
at
have
any
plenty of
point.
time to
So,
talk about her now that she's with Chelsea. So this won't be the last time you hear about Alyssa Thompson at all.
of course, yeah. So yeah, now that she's in the WSL, we will be talking about her. um, But one more thing I wanted to say about that is that uh, Mr. Serena Williams has a stake in both teams. So this seems like one of those things where I think you can see my transition where I'm heading to. It's a Michelle Kang-esque venture. And speaking of her,
And Angel City, because
and Angel City, actually, yeah. London City is not done signing players, and at this point, I don't know how many they have on their roster, but they have so many. But the ones from Angel City, one Katie Zellum and Alana Kennedy, are back in the WSL after their short stint abroad again, and yeah, so they came to London City. Another Wasa Sangare. Which team did she come from? I'm forgetting, but it was
known, right?
another one on Kang's. Is she Lyon? Okay, I
Yeah,
was like,
she's
which of Kang's ones is she? Because she is one.
yeah.
So Wasa Sangare from Lyon, and then we just found out today or yesterday, Lucia Corrales from Barcelona. I think she's like a 19-year-old. She's one of the young players there. She also has been transferred to London City, and Barcelona is losing all their players. They have like a
They
starting
have
11 plus
six.
their 5 subs, and that's
They have
it.
16 senior level
Yeah,
players right now.
at this
16.
point. So, and then meanwhile, London City has like 500 million. What are they what are they doing? Can someone wrap their minds around like trying to rationalize what Kang is trying to do?
They have the weirdestly constructed team for any sport in any professional sport around the world. They have like a whole bunch of players that are under 23 and a whole bunch of players that are over 30 and not very many in between. So like that just seems like it could cause some like just personality issues just based off of the age differences and where the players are in their lives. I don't know, but like it just seems real weird and kind of build a super teamy that might blow up.
It feels like build a super team, but like without the super part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no to the players sign. Like it's not like they're building a team full of like superstars. It's just it's a lot of, like you said, like the players over 30 are just like a lot of veterans with like big names, and then you have a lot of high ceiling youngsters, but again, like we don't know how they're going to end up. And this just this just feels like Kang saying like I'm not going to go down. Period. I don't care what happens. I'm not going down. This is very much a roster that screams no matter what happens, we're not finishing 12th. We may finish 11th or 10th, but we're not finishing 12th. And you know, it's such a.
I mean, I guess if when you have money, that's what you do. You just keep buying the players until there's none left, and then your team, the opponents
it feels like for those of us who've played it, like if you played FIFA, now EAFC, like it feels like watching the AI control a club, where it's just like every day you're looking at it like you're simulating the days, and you're just like, what was that transfer? What is that transfer? Why are they going there? Like, what is happening right now? What is this team? You know? And that's London City right now. So
breaking news: Michelle Kang uses ChatGPT to decide her next.
It feels like it. It feels like it. It feels like it. Now that you say it, this is an AI generated.
Please.
This is the AI generated. We're gonna be calling London City now the AI generated.
I don't want to talk too much because like their first game is against Arsenal and like.
I know exactly. It's like okay,
knowing
can't say
how we
much
are,
until
we'll lose
afterwards.
that game. But like, it feels like, and again, it doesn't feel like a roster that's conducive to long-term success, right? Like it feels very much like let's throw everything at the wall, let's see what sticks this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if going into next year you see a ton of turnover, because it just does not feel like a roster that you're building to say, right, this is who we're going to have for the next 2-3 years at least, right? Like this feels like a roster where you're just like, let's get everybody, let's see what happens, and then half of this team will probably be gone, by January.
I think also this is a trend that we see in English football in general, right? Again, Premier League mainly, but these teams that get promoted and then actually spend a lot of money in efforts to stay up. I think that the tricky part about it is you're just bringing in so many players, right? You're still going through like the promotion pains, right? Like you're still going to have to adjust to a higher level for the players that stay. And you're having to build chemistry with all these players that you bring in. Like this is essentially what Palace tried to do last year, and it took them a while to get going, right? To actually, like, even when they were competitive, like they still weren't really getting results. So, like on the one hand, you see the players, or more so, you see the amount of money spent. I do think some of the younger prospects are legitimately exciting, but you see like the money spent, you think, okay, they should stay up. But then actually, who are they going to put out there? If Alana Kennedy is starting for London City, brother, I don't know how I feel about their chances of staying up. I'm going to be real with you. Like, we saw her.
I know how I feel about it.
We saw her tapes the last time she was in WSL. There's a reason why she wasn't in WSL anymore. So, but I don't know. I think I am excited to see them play. It would be hilarious if they got something against Arsenal. Like even a draw, I would cackle a bit. Like
we'll get to it. We're not there yet, but we'll get to it.
I'm scared now. It's like I don't want to say too much until the game's over. Anything else about them at this point? No. All right. Well, on to Manchester. There was kind of they're playing a little what's it called? Hot potato and moving some players around. Doing a swap. It looks like Grace Clinton is going to go across to Manchester City for Jess Park and a bit of cash. How do you feel about that, Thom?
It seems to me that Jess Park, and I don't know if this is some more of a Serena thing or like she didn't play in the Euros, right? And like Grace Clinton did, and it feels like the team needs City needs a midfielder more in the role of an 8 profile than a 10 profile, because if you think about it, as long as Viv is healthy, and I know that that's a big if, I get that, but the plan is to play her as the 10, which like Viv supplying Bunny is like, that's exactly what you want to hear. And I know that Jess Park has some versatility to be able to play out on the wing, but I don't think that that's necessarily where she wants to play. I get the feeling that if they could, they probably want to move Millard centrally and or United does want to move Millard centrally and have Park play more on the wing so they don't have to start Turland. Not that Turland was bad for them last season, but I think that, and I think that might be more a move that Millard would want to take on than playing on the, because I don't think that during the Euros she really played too much on the wing. When she came in, she was playing pretty central. Like she was almost a like for like swap for Katoto. So I think that that's probably her goal. So she's probably in favor of this move. I do find it interesting that when these rumors started, like Grace Clinton was not in the 18 for either one of Manchester United's UWCL qualifiers. So I think that they kind of knew that the writing was on the wall. It sounded like City wanted to still do the business, but the only way that United was going to do this business is if they could come away from this with Jess Park, which you got to come away with something, especially with a team that,
right.
Looking at their bench, like for those UWCL qualifiers, they are thin. So like they need something. So I get it.
I think it's a good one. I feel like both players, they're obviously like they're both good. I don't know if they necessarily reached their ceiling with either team yet, but I think it would be a good swap, get like a new environment, and yeah, like I don't think it was a bad move for either of them really.
I know for me, like the thing that really stands out was today there was a quote from Grace Clinton that came out about the move, and like I just want to point this out because what she says is, I feel the future of the club and I aren't on the same page, which to me stands out a lot because last season we talked a lot about, United and that ownership and the players kind of winning despite the lack of resources. And to be fair, like this season they had that new training facility that opened. They showed video of it. Like it looks really nice. Congratulations to them. But I just thought it was really interesting that like there's still players there who feel like that club has a ceiling that is far below where they want to be. And yeah, like I said, that really stood out to me because Grace Clinton had a great year, and there was some clubs kind of sniffing around and trying to get her. I think I'd heard Arsenal was one of them early on. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see her say that because usually players don't really say stuff like that when they leave a club. And so for her to just be like, yeah, our futures didn't align. Like it very much spoke volumes, and it very much felt like I'm trying to go to a team that has a brighter future, which again is strange considering, like, no offense to Thom, like this is a City team that didn't even make Champions League, and United did. So
correct.
So how do you feel like they have a brighter future than
because I think it, to me, that quote speaks to something I said before about Manchester United having a lack of ambition. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, and I think that,
I mean, you hire Gareth Taylor, right? So,
well, that, I mean, Man City did that and Liverpool did that, but United didn't. So like, I guess that
it was Liverpool that hired my bad.
But still, Mark Skinner is their coach, so like there's not, it's not like they're that much above that. But I think that it just speaks to a lack of ambition from United that she felt comfortable enough saying that. Also, let's make derby matches spicy. Like, why not? Like,
yeah,
that's another thing too. You don't really see player swaps between rivals,
right?
That's
although one of the things that I do love for both of these players is that neither one of them has to move, and like moving costs are expensive. So, like, they just go. They
like,
just drive
just
to
go
work.
cross town.
Yeah, they just drive to work
they take
in a
different freeways
direction.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know how London works and how to get everywhere, but like I would presume it's just like different highways now and exits. It's like, okay,
probably.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really interesting. I also presume it's just about the investment and how like United has basically, like, the owners come out and said like, yeah, we're not investing in the women's team, at least not as much. So
because their men's team is still shit again, right?
Well,
like,
and it's even, you have things like, okay, Manchester United women had a good couple weeks, right, where they went out to Sweden, is it?
Yeah.
And they beat Eindhoven and Hammarby and got to the next round of Champions League, right? Like very creditable uh, results. And then, they even signed a couple players in the transfer window. But then we get the report that players booked their own tickets back home from
Yeah.
Sweden
Right.
because the club booked a flight with a
With the
layover
layover, and they were like,
after
wait,
the
well, that wasn't good
game.
enough.
Like, they got a charter to Sweden, but not back, bro. You cutting costs like
we gonna
that?
drive you. We gonna drive you to work, but you gotta
go
get a
back.
ride home.
Yeah.
You gotta
Get a ride from one of your little friends.
Right.
Like, what are you
That
talking
makes
about?
no sense.
I think the biggest question now for me is just like, how much time do they have to keep Fallon? Because like, you're talking about a player who is American, who spent time in the NWSL, who kind of left the NWSL at a point where it hadn't really gotten better yet. Like this was the same type of things she was dealing with in that league, kind of the lack of resources, even though she was playing for a great club in Seattle Reign, right? Like a club that set standards, but it was still like a league that was faltering, not really protecting its players. Like how long do they have to keep her there and keep her happy? Because if I'm Fallon Tullis-Joyce, I'm thinking like, where can I go to further improve my chances at securing that number one spot for the U.S. team come 2027? Because like right now, Manchester United ain't looking like it. Like it's just not. But at the same time, it's like where else can you go? Because I mean, you might be able to go to City, right? Like I feel like they might need to keep her, but like Arsenal are okay with Daphne. I think Chelsea are okay with their keeper,
How
right?
dare you be smirching my baby hair queen? How dare you do that?
Listen,
Yeah.
I like Keating, but like
She is chaotic.
yeah.
Chaotic, yeah.
That's
It's
the
like
word.
chaotic
Chaotic is the
Kiara.
word.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my only thing
Yeah.
with United is just like how much longer until we hear that news of Fallon Tullis-Joyce wants out.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Okay, and then there were a couple other moves. I feel like two of the bigger ones were Ruby Mace is going to Everton. She was coming from City, was it? Leicester,
She
right.
was the
So
City.
she was City, went to Leicester on loan, then it became like permanent, and now she's going to Everton. So she's kind of hopping around. Is that it?
She had been to Everton on loan from City previously, so like, she's familiar with Brian Sorensen and his system.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. Like, it's a good thing. Everton's slowly building, and like, I think we'll get to what we think about the teams coming up. But yeah, Everton is intriguing me, to say the least. And then finally, Arsenal is most likely losing Leo Valti to Juventus. That was something that. Yeah, deal's done. All right, deal's done. Leo Valti's leaving. I'm not shocked. I think that had been in the works for a bit of the time, like a while. I feel like she also had kind of reached her ceiling at the club, and it probably again one of those things where you just want like a change and time to move on. Like, of course, like she's given her all to Arsenal, and yeah, it was great, but I think it's okay for it to move.
And I think that to me, from the outside looking in, if you're Arsenal, you only do this because you're comfortable with the progression of Kyra Cream-Cross.
And it is. Kara's already said, there's been interviews. Like, she had a great preseason, first of all. She looked phenomenal. But then there's been interviews where Renee has confirmed it, and she's confirmed Renee saying, like, that position is hers to take. So as long as she continues to improve, like, she will be starting in that midfield. And so I think what it really does is open up a door for Jenna Nyswanger to get a little bit more minutes, who a player that, even though has played defense the last couple of years coming from Gotham, she is naturally a midfielder, and I think that that's where Renee wants to put her back to. So, yeah, I mean, thank you for your 7 years of service, Leah, and she went out on a high, won a Champions League. Like, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah. All right. Prediction time. Right before we do that, we'll do a quick overview of the things that are changing this year in terms of how relegation is going to work. Because like we said, there are 12 teams. However, this is the last year that there will be only 12 teams. Starting next season, there are going to be 14 teams in the league. And so because of that, they need to adjust the relegation process to get those two more teams up here. So how it's going to go is basically the top two teams from the WSL Championship, so from the second level, will be promoted to the WSL, and then the relegation playoff will happen between the 12th place team in the WSL and the third place team in the championship. And whoever loses that will be relegated or remain in the championship. And that's how we will get our 14 teams for next season. So, in a sense, relegation is not something like to be as worried about this season because, like at the worst, you have to be able to beat the third place championship team. And like we've seen in like domestic cups and things, there is still quite a big gap between WSL and championship. And so in theory, that should not be an issue for any of these teams to beat the third place championship. But I mean, stranger things have happened. But yeah, like I feel like this is a good season for teams to kind of experiment as well, and like really like they don't really have to worry about playing safe in order to stay up, because it is a higher likelihood of them staying up anyway.
With that
but
spoken,
yeah.
Let's just talk about the team that we think is going to be in that playoff match.
All right.
You want to start from the bottom? Go from the bottom to the top?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Who wants to go first? We'll go in order of what we've listed.
Okay.
I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Liverpool. We've seen all the moves that they've made, or the lack thereof, honestly. They've just lost people, and their main acquisition has been Gareth Taylor. And so
what
I think
statement.
Am I wrong though? So I feel like they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna go down. I still think they have capability of beating like whoever's in third, but I think they're gonna be in that spot. Mark?
I put down Tottenham. And I think it's kind of maybe an easy answer because they did finish 11th, right? So they're literally the worst team left in the WSL as it stands. But they just they didn't do much in the window. I know that they like theoretically have a good team, but basically, I guess the hope for Tottenham is they look more like the team they were 2 years ago, and I don't really love that as a prospect. Obviously they let Villarreal go. They have a new manager in now, but like we've seen new managers come in and struggle. Look what happened to Villa with their manager whose name always Arroyo. Yes, thank you. Like they were sleepwalking through like the first half of her tenure. So I think Tottenham was going to end up in that playoffs.
I'm
with
right
that.
there with Mark. I think it's Tottenham. I think it'll be a battle between Tottenham and West Ham, but I think Tottenham just they regressed so much last year. Like we went into last season, I genuinely thought they would be a 5 through 7 team, and they fell flat on their face in a way I didn't think a club could. And they didn't improve, not even in the slight, like not even a little bit, this transfer window. So I don't have any faith in them. And again, like this isn't even in an Arsenal fan perspective. Like this is just objectively speaking. I think, like I said, it'll be between them and West Ham, but I think Tottenham are going to end up in that 12th spot. And I'm not going to lie, I would find it deeply hilarious if Crystal Palace finished third in the championship, and they got to play Crystal Palace in that playoff, and got that work put to them. That would be funny. But and I will say, like, depending on who they play in that playoff, I don't give Tottenham the guarantee that they win. So I think genuinely and truly Tottenham are in danger of being relegated this year.
Yeah, I guess like the teams that are likely based on just standings last year in the championship, it would be like Charlton, Crystal Palace, and I'm not sure actually who the third
Birmingham
one,
City,
but
Birmingham
City, yeah.
Because Bristol did well, but I think Birmingham City consistently are among the
Yeah.
top 3 in that league.
Yeah, that was the team that London City played in the last match of the season.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, to be fair, like it isn't a guarantee for some of these teams in the bottom of the WSL. So, that's a good shot, Tottenham, for both of you. And then Thom.
I don't know if you all know about the tire fire that is going on in the Midlands, but Leicester,
Well, that's true.
Holy crap. Like, first of all, they fired Amadine Mikel like 10 days before their season opener. Like, and have now hired an interim manager who was the assistant coach at West Ham, and he is now their interim manager, which tells me you fired that lady and you had no clue how you were going to replace her. So that is
Well, there's rumors.
There's rumors. That's correct, because there were rumors. There were
murmurs and whispers and rumors that a certain coach of the year,
that my favorite coach, which we'll get to that kiss of death later. That my favorite coach, Matt Beard, asked Burnley, like, hey, can I talk to them? And Burnley said, sir, you just got here. Absolutely. You cannot
we haven't even played a game yet.
Right. And so he said, you know what then? Bye. And he quit his job. And so he is no longer the manager at Burnley and left the Fighting JJ Watts. So he no longer has a job. I don't know if he is, I would assume that he is on their short list to interview, but they're rolling into the season with an interim manager. We just found out that probably their best player in Ruby Mace is leaving, and we don't know what we would have even gotten out of. They would have gotten out of Ruby Mace, seeing as how she was coming off of a severe knee injury. So, and they weren't all of that impressive last season. Like, and they didn't bring anybody in except for a goalkeeper. So, I don't see good things for Leicester. So I definitely see them in that playoff match.
I was gonna say, raise your hand if you've lasted at a job less than what Matt Beard has lasted at Burnley.
Well, no, actually, technically, I lasted a little longer. But I did walk away quick from a job once. Yeah, I know that feeling where you're just like, actually, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's wild. We'll obviously talk more about
Interesting,
that.
none of us thought London City would be in the 12th spot, so their roster might be good enough.
All those
Just good
people.
enough.
But yeah, I don't
I think that there's going to be I don't think that there is going to be, but I think that there's going to be a wicked race for that playoff match. No, I'm so serious. I think that there's going to be a lot of teams at the bottom that are like eking out points to like, oh, I don't have to like play in that match.
Also, really quick about Matt Beard again. What's hilarious is that there's like the Reddit FAWSL Reddit thread, and one of them was from Burnley, who's like, we're disappointed to confirm that he's resigned from his position to pursue other opportunities. And this was 9 days ago. And one of the top comments underneath is just like, oh, I wonder what job he has. There's no WSL spots free at the moment. Blah, blah, blah. And then the person replying says, I presume Mikel's job isn't under threat at the moment. Little do they know. It's like that age.
You sure about that? You sure about that? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we may see him back.
That job was under threat. It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. Oh, but that's hilarious. JJ Watt, what are your thoughts? Anyway. Okay. That was bottom of the table. Let's go to top 3. Again, I'll start. I'm going to say this, I usually do some sort of reverse psychology, and I don't like to say, like, I don't like to put my teams to jinx them, but I think if there's a year, it's this year. And I think I'm going to say Arsenal, Chelsea, United. 1, 2, 3.
Mark, who you got?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and go against my team, first of all. But second of all, like, I do think for all the good work that Arsenal have done, they have ground to make up. And like Chelsea and we need to see Chelsea like regress a bit. It could happen. I think I would even bet on it happening, but I'm gonna say Chelsea, Arsenal, and I guess United. I guess I'm believing in Skinner.
Like, I'm on the. I get you.
Before, wow, that man said I'm believing in Skinner. That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go like that far, but it's just like, yeah, City still doesn't convince me, which is why I'm going for United.
Mhm.
I think that's more fair than saying you believe in Skinner.
I won't go that far. Treb.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like Didi said, like I rarely ever want to say Arsenal. Like I think I was the one that was in this position last year when we had Jonas at the helm, saying that we were probably going to finish 5th or 6th, right? So I'm very objective about my team, but I just, with the moves we made, with the way that they played under Renee, assuming there's not some kind of sophomore slump, like I think this is the year Arsenal retake that WSL crown. So I got Arsenal finishing 1st, I got Chelsea finishing 2nd, and I have City finishing 3rd. I think a mix of United, now losing Grace Clinton and just not really having strengthened their squad, with City having done a little bit of business in the window and still returning a really tough squad. Like I think they do enough to finish 3rd this year and finally get into the Champions League.
We were there last year, sir. Ask Mark. He knows.
Huh?
We were in the Champions League.
In the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we saw how that.
Getting back.
I mean, get back to the Champions League.
Your top 3 is the same as my top 3. I think that something about the vibes at Chelsea just feel off. Like I don't know if it's like y'all want a domestic treble and y'all want that lady gone, like, and she's not going anywhere, like at all. And I think like there's like players that feel that way too, like IEC Katarina Macario. So I don't know. I just feel like getting the UWCL trophy before Chelsea did in this version of the tournament. I think that Arsenal is going to be able to translate that success to a league title. And I have City over United simply for one simple reason. And let's do reverse order for the top goal scorer. I have Bunny as my top goal scorer because contract season is undefeated. And Bunny is in her contract season.
Okay.
So, like
that contract season motivation is different.
Undefeated. So she about to ball out. Like, and it's gonna hurt me when she doesn't re-sign with Man City.
When she goes to Los Angeles, yeah, I know it's gonna suck.
Chicago?
Maybe. I would have said it before.
I will not give Jake
not no more. Now with Bourne gone
and Yvonne the satisfaction. I absolutely not. She can
I can see her joining Strauss though. I can see her.
I can see that too. I can absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with Thom in terms of the Chelsea thing. Like, it's really weird that they want a domestic treble, and yet all off season, no one has talked about it. And you still have players like Kat, who a lot of people assume is probably gone. There's a lot of uneasiness with players at that club, and there's almost zero belief in Sonia at that club with the fans and stuff. So it's like, it's very much like this team that racked in all the trophies last year are coming into the season with a lot of doubts. And so I don't know. I think that it affects them. Even with Alyssa Thompson coming in, I don't think it's enough to win it again. I mean, it is. I mean, technically it isn't. Like, they have a talented squad, don't get me wrong. But I just think with the momentum Arsenal are building, adding Olivia Smith, adding Taylor Hines, getting what looks to be like the best out of Kira Cooney-Cross, like that is a team that is really going to put the pressure on Chelsea from the start. Because I think that's what really hurt Arsenal last year was the rough start that they had under Jonas, right? And it put Renee in a hole. So I think from the start, starting at 0, if we can put the pressure on Chelsea, it'll be this year. So I'm excited.
And who's your golden boot?
Olivia Smith. I just, I'm kind of going different. I would put Bunny Shaw as like a close second because obviously she's a goal scoring machine. But I just think with how Arsenal's attack is at the moment, and even though Russo is going to get the starts a lot of the time, I think Olivia Smith is going to be coming off the bench and getting a lot of looks. And if she can be even halfway clinical, I think she can have one of those seasons where like she racks up a lot of goals coming off that bench because I have faith that she could probably hit the 15 goal mark this year. So we'll see how that goes.
All right. Mark?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bunny Shaw just because when she remains healthy, she's a goal scoring machine. Like her goal return is actually like ridiculous. Like even last season when she missed a bunch of games, she was still tied for Golden Boot. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think as long as she plays, she scores, and I don't see anybody else who's really in um her I guess what I'm trying to say range. You know what I mean? In terms of goal scoring, as yet, like Olivia Smith could get there one day, but I don't see it happening this season. I didn't even know about the contract year thing like that. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that does kind of like make me feel a little bit different, but at the same time, I'm gonna just stick with what I said.
yeah.
I'm kind of going, not, I wouldn't say out of left field, but I'm going to go with slightly different. I actually put two down because I couldn't decide. But my initial thought was Michelle Adjemang, who is going back on loan to Brighton, but I think she's going to maintain her form from the Euros, and we saw how clinical she was immediately with just like coming off the bench. Um, the only question will be like, will there be enough people to feed her and set her up to uh, get these goals? And with some of the moves that they've made, like Rosa Kafaji is going to be there. They have Kiko Seiki. I think there's a chance, and I feel like she's going to want to like rack up those goals. So she was one thought, and then Elizabeth Turland was the other, which is really funny because earlier Thom said maybe they don't want to continue starting her, but in just these two games in the UWCL, she already has 4 goals in 2 games. She had a hat trick and one against Eindhoven, and then the winning goal against Hammarby. So she is like a true striker, and once again, if she gets the looks, she can score. So I feel like one of those two, maybe.
I feel like Michelle's a fun name. Like I think that's a fun.
I do think that that's a
Yeah.
good shout because I think that Brighton's going to be a fun team to watch because that's the way that Dario wants to play. So I think that that's a really good shout.
All right. And then on the other side of the field, we got the goalkeepers. Who do we think is going to be Golden Glove? Thom, we'll start with you again.
I'm going to stay in Brighton, and I'm going to go with Ndozie. I think that we saw her talent in WAFCON over the summer. She is probably the perfect type of goalkeeper that Brighton want to use because she's a true shot stopper. And when you're going to be as open as Brighton is probably going to be, you're going to need that. And I have a feeling that this year Brighton is probably going to feel a little bit more comfortable playing more open, especially against the bigger teams, against like what was last year was the top 4. So I have a feeling that she's going to face a lot of shots on target. So I'm going to go with Ndozie at Brighton.
Right. I think that's a good shot. I'm not sure who her competing keeper is, but I definitely think she'll get like the starts and, like you said, also see enough shots to be able to have enough for that. Mark? Or Treb, I guess you can go next.
I mean, it's a toss-up for me. I think it's between Ndozie and Daphne Van Domselaar. Like, I know I'm going Arsenal heavy. I promise that's not biased. But just like we saw Daphne in the running for that Golden Glove last season. And again, it was a case of her coming into the middle of the season because under Jonas, he was still starting Manu. So, what happened?
I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Is there breaking news?
There is literally breaking news.
Yeah, so what happened? That's what I'm saying, what happened?
Theo Lloyd Hughes on Blue Sky, L'Equipe dropping the bombshell that London City Lionesses have paid PSG an estimated world record 1.65 million euros fee for Grace Diora.
Yeah. That move was rumored to be happening. So London City add to their super team with an actual superstar player.
I was like, is this their superstar? Is this their bombshell?
I mean, at least
it's one of them.
Between 23 and 30.
Yeah.
I was like, at least she's up there in caliber.
So that's huge.
But another record, literally which is like what we're gonna expect. Like every single big major transfer is going to break the previous record, and it's just gonna keep going up until we hit like, I guess there's some sort of ceiling. But yeah, after all that talk about like, oh, Alyssa Thompson 1.1 or 1.5, whatever. Okay, here she is, Grace Euro, 1.65 million euros.
So I think that, I don't think it changes anything in terms of what we think about London City, because I don't think any of us thought that
no, because it's still
battle. But it is a superstar player. I think that's like their true superstar massive signing. So they got that over the line before the window closed. I think it was like rumored to be in the deal, in the works for the last couple days. So yeah, Michelle King dropping bags as everyone expected her to do. I think this was the big fear probably a lot of clubs had in the WSL with her coming in. Like, this is what she's going to do. So it'll be interesting to see what that team does. But yeah, going back to the Golden Glove, like I think it'll be in Dozier or Daphne. I think one of those two. I think with Daphne specifically, she has the Arsenal defense in front of her, right? Like a defense that hasn't gotten worse. It's the same defense that shut out Barcelona, and they've only gotten better adding Taylor Hines. So, yeah, I think when you add that to it, she's going to have a lot of chances to keep a lot of clean sheets. And if she can just save the few shots that she's probably going to get, she'll be up in the mix. And then, obviously, like Thom mentioned with Ndozie, like that's a phenomenal signing coming off of AFCON and a player that will absolutely stop a lot of shots. So it'll be a tight race, I think, between those two. And, Honoré mentioned a Fallon, but I think just with everything United are going through, I think she's going to have a tough time.
Yeah. Mark, before you say your pick, can I also just say about Guiro, I think it's hilarious that Kang is poaching from her French team's rival.
That is true high comedy. You are correct.
Yeah.
Not even with Leon said, I'm going to get you with the London.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to get you on the other side. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Mark, who do you have for Golden Glove?
I actually do have Fallon Sillis-Joyce. I think if United are going to be successful, like their backline and goalkeeper are going to have to play well, right? Like that's really their bread and butter, and then they kind of go from there. And I don't know, like it seems. I mean, Mark Skinner is entering his 5th season with United now. Like, first of all, wow, is he the longest tenured WSL manager?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's.
Wait, no, he's not, because Brian Sorensen is.
Sorensen's a bit longer. Okay. But he's one of.
Yeah, still, he's an OG WSL manager at this point. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, like United, like should be set in how they play at this point. Like we shouldn't be hearing any ridiculous quotes about how it's a new team and system, blah blah blah. So, to me, like Fallon should be, in numbers wise and performance wise, should be as good as she was last year, if not better. So.
Those are all good shouts. I am going to go with also one of the co-Golden Gloves from last season, Hannah Hampton. She was Golden Glove in the Euros as well. I mean, she's a world-class keeper, so I think, yeah, she'll still be pretty good. And I don't know, yeah, Golden Glove, I don't actually know the exact criteria, how they choose it and which like stats they look at, or if it's like also by eye tests and everything. But I think we talked about like last season, by eye test, Fallon would have definitely just straight up won. Whereas like with like the number and the stats as well, Hannah Hampton had it. So if they just go by that again, I think she would still I feel like Chelsea is still able to keep several clean sheets. And then finally, Thom's kiss of death. Who will be coach of the season, coach of the year?
Well,
You know what? Thom, you can go first. Also, I need to think of mine because I still haven't been able to decide. But yeah, you start since it is your award.
it is my category. I definitely have Dario Vidosic of Brighton. I think that Brighton did the best business this window. And I am including everyone, like all of our squads. I just think that they did the best business for what their squad is. Being able to get Michel Adjemang back on loan from Arsenal is huge, and then bringing in a goalkeeper, the quality of Ndozie is also massive, especially for the way that they want to play. I just feel like all of the pieces are in place for him to play truly his style of ball. And I think that he is probably, to me, I get a feeling that between the 6 matches that he plays between our squads, he'll figure out a way to squeak out 4 points.
All right. Let's see if he can last the season now.
Yes, exactly. Like that's the biggest thing.
That's all right, Trev, how about you?
I'm with Mark. I think, or not Mark. I'm so sorry. I'm with Thom. I think it's Dario at Brighton. I mean, I feel like Brighton are gonna finish 4th. I really do. And as much as I want to say like they would challenge for that Champions League 3rd spot, I just don't think they're gonna have the juice. But I do think that is a team that is legitimately gonna be in that top 4. Like they got Michelle back, they got Ndozie, they got Rosa Kofaji. Like they've done so much great business this summer and have worked within the confines of what they are as a club. I think now it's just going to be on Dario. Like it's going to be on him to get the most out of that team. And if they can have a repeat of what they were last season and just improve on that just even a little bit, like this is a club that is going to be one that teams hate playing against. Even our teams, like it's going to be the type of club you hate playing away, and it's going to be the type of club that's going to give you fits when you're at home, because like they are just going to pester and they're going to be hard to break down. With Ndozie in goal, they're going to be hard to score against. If Michelle's in form, they're going to be a team that attacks. So I think that they are poised to have a really phenomenal season, and I think he's going to be in contention, if not win the Coach of the Year for sure this year. I think he does make it through the season though. I would be shocked if we had to worry about that. I would be stunned. But yeah.
I feel so much better that someone has co-signed with me on this so that I'm not by myself.
You balance it out now. It's not a curse anymore. Mark, who do you have for Coach of the Year?
Yeah, I gave thought to Dario as well. I think that's I agree with everything you guys said, and even like Trevor, you were talking about them being tough away and at home. Like Chelsea got 4 points versus Brighton last year, but at home, like Brighton were very competitive in that match, and really it's only because of goalkeeper errors that Chelsea won, and then Chelsea only managed to draw due to the last second goal at Brighton. So. But I wanted to give a different answer and give notice to a club that I think has been on the rise since January, which is Everton. Ever since the new ownership has come in, they've really backed the manager and the squad in general. And I wouldn't be surprised if Everton finish in, the top half, maybe you're close to. I think we all presume Brighton is going to finish like 4th or 5th. I could see Everton in the mix as well. And if they continue on this upward trajectory, I think Brian Sorensen is a great shout for Manager of the Year.
He was actually one that I was thinking of as well. Both of those guys that you said, I think, are a good shouts to them. But since no one said Renee, I'm gonna say Renee. She already
decent shout.
Decent
shout.
If Arsenal win the league,
she's already winning.
Yeah, I think so too. If Arsenal win the league, no matter what Brighton does, like I think Renee wins it easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, And
She might
that's
even
on
be in the
Renee.
running
That's it.
the big one, the FA
the
award,
the
the Ballon
okay,
d'Or
okay.
style
Yeah, the
award for
Ballon d'Or
coach.
Coach Award.
Yeah, like if she ends up winning the domestic this year, and they make another deep run to the Champions League, like, I mean, you're talking about a phenomenal calendar year under Renee to come in as an interim manager, get the job, win Champions League, and then follow it with a domestic championship. Oh my gosh, yeah, please, yes.
Alrighty. Do you guys have any other like bold predictions or predictions that you'd like to make right now before the season officially starts?
I feel like I do, but I feel like I can't think of it.
I mean, we can make rogue like predictions throughout the season, obviously, or like as we start, but I'm just like anything that's popping into your head. Actually, Mark, the one that I was gonna say was like I think Everton could be like top 5. But like that's I don't know about top 4. Top 4 seems a little bit too ambitious considering who the top 4 are usually, but I'd say yeah, I feel like they could get 5th.
I will say bold prediction. I think out of the big clubs, like the big 6, I guess you want to say, the name brand clubs, I think Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool have a Tottenham style drop off this year, where like we look up in January and in February, and they are doing their damnedest to try to fight off relegation. Truly, because like I just don't. I mean, they've lost players. They've lost their young talent. They haven't really strengthened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be my bold prediction for now. It's just like watch the Liverpool space, because I think they could be in for a massive fall off.
I think that Shakira Martinez is going to continue her hot form. And by the end of the winter window, she will no longer be at West Ham. Not because she doesn't want to be, but because some other club is like, oh my God, I got to have that. And I don't know who that club is yet, but like I get a feeling that we're going to get a big fall from Shakira Martinez, and she's not going to be at West Ham after the transfer window closes.
Right.
I do have a bold prediction. I know there's been a lot of negatives about Chelsea from the haters. I think we're going to brush all that aside. I think we're going to win 20 matches in the league this season.
You think you're going to
Okay.
I mean, is that a bold prediction? You guys went invincible last season.
No, but 20 wins, I think, would be some sort of mark. Like, I don't think that's been done yet. 20 out of 22 wins would be really impressive.
Yeah, I was like, which 2 do you think would be like not the wins?
Both Arsenal matches, probably.
I'm about to say, probably it'll be like a draw, loss, split,
like
or something.
Like a draw, or yeah.
I mean, because like I said it last year, right? I said like there's only like our 3 teams are, there's only 2-3 teams that can actually, at least it was the case last season, like that I legitimately feel like, okay, this is a team that could beat Chelsea, right? Like they're just so much better than a lot of the rest of the league. It's like they go up against West Ham, yeah, they might be feisty, but they're not going to hang with Chelsea. Like they go up against, a London City, like they might be feisty. They're not going to hang with Chelsea for 90 minutes. I think this year it will be interesting because I do think a team like Brighton might be able to, and I think they'll be a tough one. But again, like outside of that, like City, Arsenal are the only ones I look at and say like legitimately on any given day, for sure, those are 2 teams that can beat Chelsea. So
those are the only 2 teams that have the talent to be able to beat Chelsea.
I think they also have the mentality to beat Chelsea, right? Like they've done it before. They know they can. I think because again, like you look at last season, the start of the season, Aston Villa had Chelsea right where they wanted them, but they just didn't really have the mentality to finish it, right? I think, to use an American football analogy, like Chelsea are a bit like the Patriots or the way the Chiefs are right now, where it's like so much of beating them is between the ears. It's like you get to that near the end of the game and you're like, that butthole gets a little tight. You get that lemon booty, and it's just like, how many teams can handle that pressure the way that, a team like Arsenal or City can, who have that experience to be like, yeah, we've done this before, we got it. So, but I mean, I guess that's a bold prediction.
Yeah, 20 wins would be a milestone for sure. I'm seeing some reaction stuff on Blue Sky about the Guerrero trade, and it's kind of funny. People are like, if they don't make if London City doesn't make top 4, that'll be hilarious. It's like, I don't think they're even aiming for top 4. Not this
They don't have a
season.
top 4 squad.
No, London City don't have a top
like what?
They're, like I said, that's a team very much just trying not to, like, they are firmly in the we're not getting relegated camp, I feel like now.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, get anyone we can, have like enough players that we can have a squad that wins like half or more of the time, and then by January or next season, figure it out. Anyway, so
that's my other not so bold prediction. If Michelle Kang, if they are in 10th or lower, Michelle Kang is signing half of the NWSL in the winter.
Trinity will be in London by January. If they are in 10th. Yeah, 100%. But just real quick, going back to what Mark was saying, winning 20 games would be a record. The record right now is 19 wins held by Chelsea from the 2022-2023 season. And I guess last season, too, it says that they won 19 wins last year.
Yeah,
so,
19 wins, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be a record by 1 game, beating their own record. So I ask again, is that really a bold prediction?
Yeah, I would say so.
But you got it, bro.
Okay. Do it. Stand on it. Yeah.
He said it with his chest. He's standing on it.
Exactly.
Another year at Chelsea. Hey, I can't wait. Are y'all going to beat Barcelona this year?
Okay, you know what? Barcelona doesn't even have a squad this year, so like we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. Are they finally going to do it? They got 15 players.
Yeah, maybe. This is their chance.
Surely this is the year, right?
Yeah, right.
No. See, this is the fun thing about predictions, is that it's actually so unpredictable that we can just talk shit and like something may come true. We don't know.
Or then you can say that the year, and then next minute he's
fired. Yep. Exactly. Okay. Well, like we said, this is opening weekend. And there are going to be 6 matches that we have to talk about. And so we'll quickly go through a small preview of each of them, maybe also give score predictions, or at least winner / result predictions. And we'll start in reverse order over the weekend. So the final match of the weekend will be Tottenham versus West Ham at Brisbane Road. And like we said, Tottenham had sacked Robert Wilhelm and now has Martin Ho as is he an interim, or is he? I think he's their main full coach right now, right? Yeah. I guess what do we like? It's basically, can they turn it around? They were in 11th last season, just barely kind of escaped relegation. Can they turn it around? And yeah, there's not really. I mean, I guess there is worse. Like they could get relegated. I wouldn't say that like it can only go up from here, but almost.
Yeah.
Vibes are bad.
This feels like a draw to me. I can see like Tottenham coming out with like a renewed spirit, taking the lead and so on. But I think that West Ham will hang around and get a late goal. So, and I don't think there's much between these teams at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, Mark saying draw.
I say that this is a derby match. It means a lot to West Ham. I say that they go into Brisbane Road and they take them 3 points. I got them winning 2-1 away. Also, I put, when I made the doc for the show today, I put where the matches were because the WSL is smart. They start this weekend because why? The men are on an international break. So that means that the stadiums that they occupy are open to play matches in. And we see that Tottenham is still at Brisbane Road for this match, which is, again, a derby match.
It's not a showcase match, right? Like this is the same.
Wants to see West Ham.
This is the same shit we talked about last year. They're gonna wait till Arsenal or Chelsea or Man U, then they'll put them in the big stadium, and watch their team get hosed in front of tens of
Watch
thousands
their
of fans.
team get
I still
hosed.
contend
Okay.
that's why Gareth Taylor got fired, because he embarrassed
I
people.
will
at the
say
big
this
house.
is the one. This is the one thing I do love about being an Arsenal fan is just like outside of what 1-2 matches we're playing at the Emirates. It's where we play now.
Yeah.
Like as far as I'm concerned, the Emirates is the Arsenal Women's Stadium at this point.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. They
They're,
made
they're
it, so
they're officially playing all their WSL matches there now, right?
yeah.
Is it this year that it's all of them?
It's all the home WSL matches. It's just maybe a couple of the like cup
Champions League
matches
and
or something. Yeah, Champions League would not.
I think a lot of that depends again where the men's side do in their cup competitions and how those schedules work out because they obviously are going to get the first choice. So
if you would like to know why they're not at Hotspur Stadium or who is there instead, it's Post Malone. He's got a concert there.
Dog, they deserve to lose off
there
of
was
that
a million
alone.
different names I was expecting to hear. That
Post Malone was not the one.
not one.
You know how the fans call it the Beyonce Stadium? Are you gonna have to rename
Well,
it?
I thought it might have been
Stadium?
like somebody because I figured I was like, oh, it's probably a concert, and I was just like, Post Malone, bro.
Post Malone.
But my prediction for the match is 1-1. I think it's gonna be a snoozer. I think it'll be one of those matches where you're just like, you got to be a real soccer sicko to love it, and I think it's just gonna end in a 1-1 draw.
Fair. I think draw. I'll go with Thom as well. I think West Ham will pull out a win late, but yeah, I don't think Tottenham will win.
Up the Hammers.
At the very least, get a point. All right, and then after that, we've got Manchester United versus Leicester at Lehigh Sports Village. Also not at the home stadium, or at the big stadium, I should say.
I mean, but like, do you really want to go to a stadium that has a not planned for waterfall?
Yeah.
Just saying,
seeing the sights, seeing the sights in the old trash can. Maybe Lehigh's better, yeah. Well, we already talked about the fire in the Midlands, the tire fire, that is, about Leicester City. Who knows what they're going to do? But prediction-wise, I think we're all going to say that United should win this game. Yeah. Any score predictions? Thom, you're saying they've already started Champions League qualifiers, so their players have a bit of like game time in them, but they have a pretty thin bench.
Yeah, like they didn't even have a full 18 on their bench for the match against Hammarby. So like, I guess Jess Park coming in helps that, but like it wasn't like it was like, oh, we have 17 players in the squad. Like they were looking Barcelona-ish as far as numbers go. So I guess that they're just going to run that same squad back and then just put Jess Park on the bench, but that squad is more than capable of giving Leicester the blues. So I got, unfortunately, United in a big win, like 4-0, something crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I concur.
Same. Yeah. This is a stat padding match for.
Yeah, I was going to say I feel like United wins this 2-3-0. So.
Okay. Awesome. And then we got a fun one up in Liverpool. We have the Merseyside Derby on day 1. So that's obviously Liverpool versus Everton. And guess what? They're using the big stadium. It's at Anfield. We love that. First match at Liverpool for Gareth Taylor. First match for like a very strengthened Everton squad. I think Everton has it. I mean, like we said about Liverpool, they didn't really make any moves. They lost 2 star players. I don't know. I feel like at this point, there's really nothing going for them. Yeah, I don't even think they could be able to pull out the draw. I feel like Everton has enough to win.
I feel like you are correct in that Everton has enough to win and Liverpool does not have the talent to overcome. I also know that derby matches can get wonky. Especially in a stadium that neither team is usually used to playing in. So I still I think that this is probably going to be the most exciting game of the weekend to me. I have this as a 3-3 draw.
Okay, nice. Lots of goals. And yeah, you're right. Like it is at Anfield, so like Liverpool supporters should be out in big numbers and first match of the season, so they could get, as like a 12th man, they could definitely get some bump from that.
I feel like them being at Anfield is why Everton will win though, because like I feel like Everton will have a lot more of that. Let's go in here, let's beat them at Anfield. Like it's a chance to really get a statement win in the first match. So I think that'll be like the added motivation for them, and I think they come away with it 2-1.
I am gonna hop on the Everton bandwagon actually. Yeah, I think that, and I would even say like I could see them winning 3-1.
That's
Um,
crazy.
Yeah, but it's just like everything we've talked about. I think just with the current momentum of both clubs, it just feels like Everton's going in the right direction and Liverpool isn't. So, and again, like just what I was talking about with Tottenham, like you could do these big showcase games in the big stadium and so like, and I don't want to shit on them for that. Like that is legitimately a good thing. But if you don't invest in the team, you're just putting them out there to lose in front of a bigger audience. And so that's what I think is going to happen to Liverpool, unfortunately.
All right. Then we are going a little bit further south to the not quite the coast. Unfortunately, Brighton versus Aston Villa is also at the smaller stadium at Broadfield Stadium. It is not in the one in Brighton. It's actually in Crawley. But anyway, Brighton versus Villa. We talked about how like good we think Brighton did during the window. So what do you think? How would they look against a Villa squad that hasn't like really, I mean, sparked interest
Improved
or
from
like
nothing.
done really anything, it
They
seems
barely
like.
moved this window.
They've made a couple moves, but like I feel like nothing to really stand out. I think the one big one actually they got like Ellie Roebuck, who is obviously going to be good in the goal and like help their defense and hopefully keep some like clean sheets or less goals. But yeah, I don't know. It's new coach, not really new coach, but first year, full year with Arroyo.
I think this is a statement match for Brighton. I feel like, right? Like we've talked so much about Brighton, how we all think they are in for a really big year. I think we have a lot of confidence in them. This is the perfect opportunity at home against a Villa side that isn't terrible, but is a side that on paper you should absolutely be able to beat. And I think this is one of those matches where they can come in and say, look, we are going to make it, we're going to make noise this season in this league. Get out there at home. Michelle Adjemaine, uh, you know, the new players that they signed, get out there and win, 3-0, 3-1, maybe 4-1, and really, not run up the score, but really make a statement that hey, we're legit this year. Start off the season on a good foot, and see where they go for match two. But I think this one should be easy wins, in my opinion.
I'm with you, Treb. I think that we saw what Brighton's home form was starting off the season. We also saw that they were a very different side when they left the South Coast. But I still do feel like this is like absolutely in their wheelhouse. I got at least a 3-1 winner for them.
I feel like this match is like a potential low key, like if you're into like a tactical kind of match, like I think it could be interesting from that standpoint. I am curious to see what Villa look like under Arroyo now that she's had a full off season. Obviously, we know how it started for her. It didn't start very well, but it's like now. But she did. I mean, like the team did recover under her. Finished like sixth or seventh, which was wild considering where they were just a few weeks before that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that this could be an interesting match for a while. But I do expect Brighton to win. Like I'd say like probably 3-1.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Do you think Aston Villa could be one of these teams that we're sleeping on?
Possibly.
Just consider, yeah, where it's
Yeah.
I
like,
mean, I think their ceiling is probably sixth, right? I don't
sixth.
think I don't think that they're so bad that they're going to be in the relegation battle, but I can see them because like right now I feel like they're like an eighth, ninth place team, but I can
Yeah.
definitely see them getting high as like sixth. I would be shocked if they get any higher, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption. And the thing for Aston Villa for me is that they're just never consistent. Like they
That's
can
the
have really hot streaks and really cold streaks, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I feel like a ceiling of 6 is right. But I do think Brighton will take this one. I'll say 2-1. Then we've got Arsenal versus London City at the Emirates, home opener. Arsenal should win this. And this is where I get my.
I'm like, here we go again.
I know. I was like, here I go with not wanting to jinx my team. But once again, we should win this one. I want us to come out with a bang. I'm gonna say 3-1 Arsenal.
I'm actually with you there, but mine's going to be a little bit different. I think it's one of those matches where we're going to have like 0-0, maybe 1-0. But I think it's one of those that Arsenal will separate themselves in the second half, right? Like I think just with London City coming out trying to make a point, we will be at home at the Emirates. But again, like as a lifelong Arsenal fan, like these are just the start of the season is always hard, right? Like we saw it on the men's side. Like it's easy to say like we should win big on paper, and then you get out there and you're playing this grindy match. So I think it'll be like 0-0 at the break. I think in the end Arsenal win 3-0, maybe 3-1. But yeah, it should be 3 points at the end of the day.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hold y'all's hand when I tell y'all this is what's gonna happen in this match. London City is gonna score first in the first half,
Wouldn't be surprised.
and y'all are gonna be freaking out, and then you will score going into halftime. It'll be 1-1, and then you'll score 3 more goals. And it'll be like in the second half, it'll be 4-1, and you'll be like, "Oh God, thank God that first half never happened." But
I can see it.
That is exactly
I mean, yeah,
how the
like
match
I
is
can
gonna play out.
completely see it. And the thing is, like London City, they're like a mishmash of players, but they do have players that can score. Yeah. Like they have Asani, they have Nikita Paris, Sophia Jakobsen,
who
maybe
loves scoring
so
against Arsenal. Nikita Paris loves a good goal against Arsenal.
WSL.
But I think in the end, their undoing is going to be the experience.
Put some respect on Nikita Paris's name. That is
right.
That is WSL mercenary Nikita Paris.
Yeah, and I think like just in the end, what's going to help Arsenal is just that togetherness, right? Like they not only are an experienced team, but they have the chemistry already there. Like they've not lost many players. I think Leah Welty is the only real starter, like heavy minutes player that they lost. The rest of them have kind of been just like fringe players. So I think in the end, that's what really helps them is just that togetherness. And again, being at home, it'll be interesting to see how London City handle the big stage that is the Emirates. I'm always fascinated by that because these are teams that don't really get to play in these big stadiums. And your first game is at the Emirates where, Arsenal drawing 30, 40, 50,000 fans easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think we get it done 3 points.
I expect Arsenal to dominate.
Don't say that.
However, I think Arsenal will forget their finishing boots at home, and I think this will end up being like a annoying like 2-2 draw. Like I think
the Chelsea hater in him, bro. He can't help it.
Got to, baby.
He does not want Arsenal to start off with a win. He's like, nah, I can't let it happen. Here we go again with this season. Here we go, bro.
I think Arsenal will go up 1-0, and then I think City will equalize, and then I think Arsenal score again, and then I think City will equalize like 89th minute, something like that.
Like that annoying. We get too complacent. That's the thing.
Really give up those late game goals like that.
Yes.
Fair. That's interesting.
We'll see. I hope not. All right, and then last but not least, at the time of recording, this match will be taking place in approximately, I can't do the math, 19 hours. Friday night at Stamford Bridge, season opener, Chelsea versus Manchester City. Like we said, there's been a little shift in like players. Myra's out. Sam Kerr's back probably in the 18. Alyssa Thompson may or may not be there. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, they're like at home. Not that Stamford Bridge is like really a leg up on that. Like they don't necessarily play better at Stamford Bridge, but it's still like against the City side that I feel like has a lot left to prove after last season.
If you read the profile that Susie Rack did for on Bunny Shaw, like she does say that they do have a lot in the Guardian. They do have a City does have a lot to prove, and I have said that the vibes at Chelsea seem like they're not great. I do not believe in this. I do not believe that the team that I root for is about to go down to London and go to the home of the reigning domestic treble champions and nick a result. Chelsea 2-1.
That I'm feeling that scoreline. I don't know what kind of performance Chelsea are going to put down, to be honest. Like, I really don't know what to expect, like, with the injuries, and I don't even know who's going to start, really. I think I do, but, how is it going to look? I don't even know what formation bump I start my lineup with. But, yeah, it just feels like a kind of suffer ballish, like, 2-1. Let's just get out of here with 3 points and then, figure out the rest of the season. Speaking of profiles, the Guardian, I forget who. I think it was is it Suzanne Rack? Does she work for the Guardian?
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I think she was the one who did the sit down with Naomi Girma. And she was just kind of talking about like how she feels at this point. Also, one thing I have noticed, I feel like Girma's been getting kind of a media push. I think the club has been making her the face or the front of a lot of advertising campaigns, social media stuff. And so I think like you're seeing this like Girma's being treated like a leader kind of vibe, which I think is appropriate. Like she was a record signing. I think that she could very easily already be the best center back that Chelsea have. Um, she probably is. I mean, like I know that people have their feelings for Millie Bright, but like Millie Bright wasn't even chosen to be at the Euros. So,
Millie Bright excused herself.
well,
And based off of what was going on in Millie Bright's personal life, I get why she did.
that's fair. I also wonder if some conversations about playing time influence her decision, but that's neither here nor there,
Also valid.
right? England didn't seem like they missed her all that much. I'm just saying. But anyway,
Fair.
yeah, I no, but yeah, she was just talking about like adjusting to life in London. One of the things that she talked about that I'd never really thought about, just the fact that she moved and then is immediately like you have games. It's like you don't really have time to really think about and settle. I'm sure Deep T you can like relate to just the idea of moving to London, but then like imagine if you had like a marathon the next day. Like so I don't know, like stuff like that, like kind of has me excited. Like I do think there's room. One of the things that Germa said is that the team can improve, right? Like there's areas in which they can improve, and I'm glad that they feel that way because I absolutely agree. And I think that internal improvement from individual players like Germa, like Walsh, like Beaver Jones I've mentioned before, and then like the most of all, Sam Kerr coming back, like. If she can, I don't even want her to play a lot early on. If she can just, get going, like kind of build up and really hit form mid-season, it would feed families. Like I can't tell you how excited I am to have Sam Kerr back. Like, oh man. But yeah, I think we Chelsea will get out with like a jammy win tomorrow.
Okay, well, the last time I watched Chelsea play City at Stamford Bridge was the second leg of the Champions League, and Chelsea won 3-0. And I feel like that's going to happen again.
They scored all 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah.
And we just had to prevent them from scoring 3 goals.
The entire game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was the one where they came, like, City, it was just so uninspiring. And unfortunately, I feel like that's going to happen again. I feel like, obviously, like, plus first match at home for Chelsea of the season. they're gonna come out renewed, rejuvenated, and like I think they're just gonna start scoring. I think it's gonna be 3-0 again.
Damn. So you're all on
Yeah.
Chelsea. Okay.
I'm not even that confident. Damn, though.
I think it's going to be 3-2 City.
What?
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Speaking of haters.
I mean, that's not even a hate. I just feel like it has to be for City's sake. I think, like we talked about, like they have a lot to prove this year. I think that they probably have a bad taste in their mouth from United beating them to that Champions League spot. You're never going to get a more vulnerable Chelsea to start the season than what they are right now. And even if you have to go to Stamford Bridge, you're never going to probably get a healthier Viv than you're going to get right now if you're City, right? Like you're going to be, yeah, like this is the most vulnerable Chelsea you're going to be. This is probably the most healthy that City are going to be. Hopefully, you know, knock on wood, like you want to see these players last a season, right. But just historically speaking, like everything is pointing to this being the absolute positively best chance that City have to take 3 points off of Chelsea. And I think that they have to do it. So I think if City really want to be a team that you look at and say they are a top 3 team, you have to come away with a win. And I think in order to do that, you're going to have to score 3. Because I do think with Sam Kerr coming back, being at home, if Alyssa Thompson, even if she comes off the bench, like I think Chelsea are going to get 2. And so if you want to beat them, it's gonna have to be 3-2. So I do believe in City. So I'll be the only one to say it. I think City get out of there in a grindy type of match, but we're gonna see some goals scored. I think City get out of there with the 3 points, 3-2.
Doug, if that is the case, I will send you the money for a bottle of mezcal. If that happens, just let me know.
So you're saying I'm in for a Friday night bet.
When City beat Chelsea 2-0 in Champions League, Viv was playing the 10, right?
No, she was playing the striker.
Oh, okay. But I just remember her assist on was it Caroline's goal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Caroline too. Like that's the thing. Like I said, this is City's perfect time. Like you're not going to get a healthier team than right now.
And speaking of players like who came in January and now have a full off season, I think Caroline could have a big season if everything clicks.
Again, yeah. Real quick, if Sam Kerr plays, when and if and when, does she score on her return?
65th minute.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Huh? She's getting the hook at the 65th minute, but she's definitely scoring at least 1 goal.
Oh, you think she's starting and playing 65?
I'm going on the assumption that she's not starting.
I feel like she's coming off.
So that's why I think she's going to score in the 65th.
So who do you think is going to start? You think they're going to start Aggie Beaver Jones?
I do.
Either that or Alyssa. I think they'd be more inclined to start Alyssa coming in mid-season form.
But Alyssa doesn't even play.
Nah, she doesn't know the system that she's like barely got here. She's gonna be jet lagged still.
I just don't think they take the risk with Sam Kerr to start. I really don't.
I think Kat has played the 9, so I think actually Kat has a pretty good chance for her to start. Dude, there was something else I was gonna say. It's gone. Don't worry about it.
It's just okay. Chubb said Mark, yes or no? Does Sam score on her return?
That's right. Yeah. So I would say 78th minute. I don't think Sam Kerr will start, but I think she'll come on I'd say post 70th minute. I think that they are gonna try to take it slowly with her to start with.
If she starts, I say 20th minute.
All right. 20 minutes to get a goal. Yeah.
But you know who has already? Thom, what do you say?
Whenever she enters the match, she will score within 15 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's what I'm saying. It's she will score.
20.
Okay.
If she comes in off the bench, it'll be 65. Like that's what I'm saying. Is like she's gonna score in that first 15-20 minutes. So
cool.
But you know who has already scored is the fans who are going to be at Stamford Bridge tomorrow, because the WSL is going to be trialing their in-seat drinking.
My man said they're trying to get drunk.
Everybody in this bitch getting tipsy.
So this is actually we're all obviously joking about this because we're Americans and we're used to being able to carry drinks to our seats.
We take beers to our seats. We take them double fisted.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to an American sporting event, you will see people sitting going like this with 6-7 beers for everybody in the aisle. Like it's not even what we do.
if you go to a game with like 4 or 5 people, there's always one person who's designated to go get the beers for
Carrying
everyone.
all the
Oh,
beers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carrying all
Well,
the beers.
okay, the thing here is that it's just for football matches. Like, I've been to a couple of rugby ones where I've like worked, I've been the pourer, and they're allowed to take them into the like rugby stadium. So it's just like the football stadiums that they don't allow it, and that's why they're trialing it. And initially, I thought like, oh, maybe the men's stadiums had some sort of rule just for cleanliness and stuff that they didn't want it. But so I thought, okay, maybe they'll trial or do it only at like the women's home grounds. But no, it's everywhere. Any women's matches. So
And
I
it's concourse only,
I
right?
think that's hilarious that it's only the women's matches. So like
Oh
it'll be
yeah.
in like the big stadiums, but yeah, only those ones. So sorry, Trev, what was your question?
No, I'm saying it's concourse only, right? Like they still can't take the alcohol to the seats.
They can take
I
it to the
believe.
seat now.
Oh,
No,
they
they
can?
can take it to the seats.
Okay,
Yeah, before
okay,
it was
yeah, so yeah,
concourse only
welcome to the sports life
for
that we
like
live.
the men's ones. Yeah, so
And just to provide context for this, for our American audience, the reason why this is in place, like what Deep T all explained, is because of hooliganism.
I was about to say, what's the over under on the first cup of
If-
beer getting thrown on the pitch?
yeah, right?
If you know a West Ham fan, you can thank them for these rules.
Yeah, so
What's
and
the
I'm
over
sure
under? Do we think it
I'm
happens in
sure
opening night?
I'm sure Millwall contributed to this as well. But no, yeah, I mean like so like for the men's matches, they will not do this anytime soon, right? Like
No.
male fans still fight. Like it's not as prominent as it was before, but there's still some hooliganism that goes on at those matches. So like I think it's hilarious, but I also completely understand why they don't allow it, specifically the men's football
Yeah,
matches.
it is the
Like
men. And I get it. And it is
yeah.
like to an extent, like obviously like the women's ones are a bit more family oriented, there's a lot more children at them.
Also, women are just
Maybe
more
women are
chill.
just cleaner.
I feel like
Yeah.
women are just less likely to fight. Like
Yeah, that's true. They're less likely to fight. So I think like just for
But
that
when you
purposes,
do
like
see some women fight,
yeah,
good
I was gonna say
night.
90% of the stadium will be okay, but it's just like the two really heavy supporter sections. I think there's still a chance there, and they're gonna be the ones probably also to like take advantage of being able to get alcohol in their seats. So we'll see how that goes. I know they trialed it towards the end of last season in some championship matches, I think it was, and so clearly it like went well enough that they're gonna make it a thing. But I wonder how long it's gonna last, if it will last. But we'll see. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the match tomorrow. I definitely will be going to the Arsenal one. But I'm trying to decide. I have our like most fun work party of the year is also tomorrow, and so those are the two things that I'm balancing. Just like, but either way, it'll be a good time. I'll definitely watch it, and I'm so curious. But I think that's all. Do we have any final predictions, final thoughts, anything to say before the start of the season?
this one kind of snuck up on me. I don't know.
I have
Like it
been
felt
thoroughly enjoying the summer of being European champions. So
We know. We know.
I
so
will be
ready for the
posting-
new season.
I will be posting more pictures of them lifting the trophy tomorrow to get it in. But yeah, tomorrow, new season starts.
We are
We're
still champions.
I'm gonna say we're still the champs until we're
until
not.
May.
But
Don't
I'll
get it
ease up on
twisted.
it. We're focused on the new year. We'll talk about Champions League as it approaches, but in terms of the domestic season, it's time. It's time to take the crown back. Chelsea have had it for too long. It's time. That's all I gotta say.
Amen.
Put up or shut up. Put up or shut up. That's what it is for Arsenal,
Yeah.
honestly. Like I feel like both of your teams, it's the same, but for very different competitions.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
One's league, one's Champions League. So, but neither we can't let we'll both be happy if the other one wins whatever the one that we want. But no, we can't let that happen. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all from us, folks. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hit that follow button to stay up to date when new episodes drop. We are also on Blue Sky now, no longer on Twitter, X, whatever. It's at the 12sobn.podcast. whatever the Sky stuff is. But yeah, please listen to us, leave us a rating and a review if you can. We'd love to hear any feedback, any thoughts. Give us your predictions too. But enjoy opening weekend. Thom wrote "Come on City" in the document. I crossed it out, wrote "Go on Arsenal." We'll see you next week.
Future WSL champs, Arsenal.
Out the show.
Thom's coming back. Thom is coming back home. Most likely.